Very good evening, dear friends. Eldrigu namaskara. Welcome to our channel. So today we are trying to discuss on the financial services, the important questions, and some of the brief concepts which will we try to cover within few minutes. So totally you have five important chapters which is being divided under financial services. Under financial services, the overview will be your first chapter. So the chapter 2, 3, 4, and 5 is divided among two things, that is fund based financial services, and one more is fee based financial services. So the chapter itself is divided according to the types of financial services. Okay, very simple. Fund based you will be learning on leasing, hire purchase, and consumer credit, and also you will try to look after the continuation in chapter 3, that is factoring, bill discounting, and venture capital financing. So going to your chapter 4 and 5, that is the one another type of financial services, you will be looking after merchant banking, stock broking, depositories, and as well as credit rating. Okay, so ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಇರುವಾಗ so many will feel sir syllabus ತುಂಬಾ ಇದೆ, what we have to do further ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ you will be having a lot of questions. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, so every time no you try to only concentrate on financial services, but what we suggest is you also try to look after what is Indian financial system. You look after something called as the financial concepts. So nama Indian financial system ali, you have something like financial assets, financial intermediaries, financial markets, financial rate of return, that is the financial services, and financial instruments. Okay, so when you go for in deep regarding the Indian financial system, so then you will get something called as financial markets and as well as financial services. So today you are trying to concentrate on what is financial services, and this is what your chapter tells in an overview, that you have to study what is financial services, what are the functions and characteristics, and you should be knowing what are the different types of financial services. As I told you earlier, your chapter 1 overview includes types, but all the chapters which includes the 2, 3, 4, and 5 is none other than the types. So fund based financial services and fee based financial services is none other than the types what you are studying under something called financial services. Yes sir, in a very simple way, when you go for something called financial services, what all will tell andre very simple. So this financial service is something called as financial intermediary na. So when you go for something called the process of mobilizing the funds from a large number of savers, and which will be available to all those who need it, to a corporate customers. So ನೀವು ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಮೀಡಿಯರೀಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಮ್ವೇರ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಆ ಸೇವರ್ಸ್ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್. ಸೊ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದೇರ್, ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಅವೈಲಬಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ಯಾರಿಗೆ ನೀಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಫಾರ್ ದೋಸ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಅವೈಲಬಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಟು ಲುಕ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಇನ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್. So in a very broad sense, or in a very simple way to understand, so it is all about mobilizing, and the allocation of savings is nothing but called as the financial services. To do this, you have a different classification which can be used. So based on the classification what you are doing, it will be helpful for you for going ahead with something called as financial services. So illi you have to concentrate on one more bakla. What is that is, you have something like new financial products and services ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಏನ್ ಸರ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಈ ತರ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ? ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್. ಏನ್ ಸರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಲ್ ದೋಸ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಲೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಮರ್ಚೆಂಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಲೋನ್ಸ್ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಶನ್, ಮ್ಯೂಚುವಲ್ ಫಂಡ್ಸ್, ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರಿಂಗ್, ಫೋರ್ಫೀಟಿಂಗ್, ವೆಂಚರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್, ಕಸ್ಟೋಡಿಯಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟ್ ಅಡ್ವೈಸರಿ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ or securitization. Okay, what all the topics which you will read in a further helbeku andre, you have also called something like derivative security, letter of credit, reverse mortgage. Okay, so these are all some of the important financial products and services which you will be studying. Okay, so something question enadru ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ innovative ಆಗಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, like what are all the financial products and services which you will be providing or which you will be using andre, so in a very simple way you should be understanding, sir, under financial services ಏನೇನ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಓದಿರ್ತೀರಾ, that is something what you are looking under products and services. Okay, so don't worry much. So this is all about what you are trying to look after in your chapter 1. So when it comes for all your features and importance, so it will help for the economic growth, it will help for the promotion of savings, it will help for the capital formation, it will help for financial intermediation. Okay, so it also has customer orientation. Okay, so this is something what you will be writing under the features or the importance, so which you will be taking in the first chapter. Okay, so your first chapter in brief tells what is financial services. Here we also told, so you should be knowing what is Indian financial system, which would be easy to go ahead. Okay, so your second chapter tells, so as we have already seen there, leasing andre ಏನು hire purchase andre in consumer credit andre ಏನು. Okay, so here what we try to say is, so try concentrating more on the leasing part. Okay, so hire purchase and consumer credit, so you may expect for a very less marks, so concentrate more on something related to leasing. So leasing a lesser, what is that you are supposed to do? Leasingally, you have two people, one is a lesser and one more is a lessee. Okay, so when you go for a concept of lesser and lessee, so what is that you are trying to do? The word itself is telling, so it is somewhere like a concept of two parties or a financial concept. So lease ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ obviously one will be a owner, so who will lease his product, or who will lease the product what he has, and automatically there will be a lessee who will receive it, and automatically that product will be used. Okay, so based on that there will be a rentals which will be paid. So rent ಏನೋ ಪೇ ಮಾಡೋದಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಪ್ರೀ ಡಿಟರ್ಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. So according to one fixed interval of time ಅಲ್ಲಿ, so this will be done, and it will be according to the mutual convenience of two people, that is lesser and as well as lessee. So when there is an involvement of this lesser and lessee, the very first thing what you are supposed to try to look is, sir, ye knows what is the steps involved here. Okay, so try to concentrate on what is the steps involved on leasing which will be done, and very importantly what are the advantages, disadvantages, and especially on the types. So types only, when you look after this financial lease, operating lease, leverage lease, sale and lease back, cross border lease, and vendor leasing, wet lease, and dry lease. So you have different types of leases, but especially what I tell you to concentrate is, so kindly concentrate on what is the differences between financial lease and operating lease. Okay, so if you try to concentrate more on this difference of financial and operating lease, so this is where we try to expect a question in this particular paper, so regarding what is the differences. So you also concentrate on what are the different types. Types only you try to concentrate more on what is the difference between financial lease and operative lease. Okay, and you should be knowing what is the perspective, like how lesser is and how lessee is. I have already told you there will be two people, one is a lesser and one more is a lessee. Lessee is none other, the lesser is none other than an owner. Lessee is the one who will receive that product from the owner. So I have told there will be a mutual consent which will be happening. Only through the mutual consent, so you will buy, and there will be a predetermined price, so which will already be there. Okay, so in your chapter 3 you should concentrate on the factoring, bill discounting, and venture capital financing anta ide. Okay, so in your third chapter the things what you have now, so factoring also very important, where you have to look after, even discounting kuda important, sir. So here the concepts are quite important when compared to all the things. So this is something it is not something very general, so it is something very importantly you have to go ahead in this chapter. So in this factoring, if you look in a very simple way, okay, so there was an author like Avadani, so he has given a definition in a very simple way. Factoring is a service of financial nature involving the conversion of credit bills into cash. Okay, so whenever there is a financial nature which is been happening, so conversion of credit bills into cash na factor anta ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Okay, so there is a factoring process ಅಲ್ಲಿ, there is a factor which is been involved. So this process what you try to look after is called as an factoring. Okay, so it's also nothing but where you can call it as a financing. So company ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, or trade debts na, they will sell its trade debts, okay, at a discount to some of the financial institutions. So this is something what you can also learn from something called factoring. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ factor ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು sir? Factor is the one whom we can call it as a, whom we can call him as a agent, or someone as a banking or a insurance company. Okay, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2 marks ಗೆ you can also look after what is the modus operandi ಅಂತ ಏನು ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಮತ್ತೆ types of factoring. Okay, so concentrate on what are the different types of factoring in this particular chapter, which is very important. Okay, full service factoring andre ಏನು, with recourse factoring anta ide, you have maturity factoring, you have bulk factoring, you have invoice factoring, agency factoring, international factoring, and suppliers guarantee factoring. Okay, so ಇದು ಒಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ you have also bill discounting. So when it comes for the discounting of the bill, two things you have to see. One, I have already told you have to concentrate on this letter of credit. So other than that, what are the different type of bills available, and especially what are the steps which will be taken for something called as bill discounting. Okay, so this is something what you have to look after. Then already you have studied in bills of exchange, so kindly concentrate on this. So now venture capital financing when it comes, so illi also concentrate for 2 months what do you mean by angel investing, and what are the different types of investment amenities which has been available, and especially when it comes for this venture capital, so kindly look after what are the different stages of financing. Okay, and you should also be knowing how this early stage and the last stage or the later stage which will come into picture. So also concentrate on how SEBI is actually helping here. Okay, so very importantly you should look after, so what are the different stages of financing which will be taken care in venture capital. Okay, so this is something more important in this particular chapter. So in a chapter 4, that is the merchant banking. So in merchant banking, so kindly concentrate on, so what are the functions of the merchant banker, and what is the framework or somewhere like a code of conduct what you will be looking after in merchant banking. So then what is merchant banking? So it is somewhere what I can tell it as a universal definition. Yes, sir, it is like merchant banking is an institution, so which will cover a wide range of activities. So when the institution tara sir, it will cover some different range of activities. What all it will cover? So it will cover somewhere like customer services, portfolio management, so credit syndication, acceptance of credit, counseling irbodu, insurance. So these are some of the things what it will be done. So merchant banking is somewhere like an institution, so it will try to cover the different type of activities, the activities which is being covered, so we call that as an the merchant banking. Okay, so this is what you concentrate. And the last one, so you already know it is the stock broking, depositories, and credit rating. Okay, so more concentration into credit rating and stock broking would be good. Okay, so already you know that there are different type of credit rating agencies which are already available in India. Okay, so you should look after the full forms of the different type of credit rating agencies which is already available. Okay, so that is one part what you have. So and the different definitions which has been available. Okay, and what are the benefits of credit rating? So when you go for the process of credit rating, especially you have this CRISIL, then ICRA, that is Investment Information Credit Rating Agency of India. This CRISIL full form will come under Credit Rating Information Service Limited. So then CARE, Credit Analysis and Research. Okay, so this is something what you have to look after, the different type of credit rating agencies, and what is the methodology available. Okay, this is one question what you have to look after. Enakandre, the symbol will change for different type of people, and also you have to look after what is the SEBI guidelines given according to 1999. Okay, so this guidelines will also tell in brief like how this ratings are done. So why these ratings are given is, so based on the investment qualities or the corporate credit rating which is being provided. So this will tell you what are the different particular type of debts which you are look after, and probably so it will also help you for the just like an opinion which is given from some of the agencies, and it will not tell that it is just like a recommendation either to buy or sell the shares or some of the securities. It is where it will just give its independent opinion regarding the financial obligations of the different type of companies which is been available. Okay, so this credit rating will actually help for different type of shareholders to buy a different type of securities, but not always. So this is one among the important concept what you have to look after. Okay, so it is somewhere very importantly this is very useful in India by taking all the concepts and as well as the info. Okay, so coming to, so these are some of the important questions where you try to concentrate here. So totally we have come up with some 19 questions. So otherly you have to concentrate on what are the different types of financial services. So 2 marks you have to study what is financial services, but till kotirodella kindly concentrate for section B and C. Okay, So these questions are more sufficient, and kindly concentrate on these many questions. Okay, it's given on chapter wise, so chapter basically, which is more important, and which are the likely questions which will come for your examination. Okay, so the differences, kindly study between the markets and services, the growth and problems of financial services, functions, advantages and disadvantages, the different types of leasing, difference between hire purchase and leasing. So ನಾನು leasing ಅಲ್ಲಿ different types ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ. So in this continuation of video, so ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ those differences also you have to look after. Okay, so the financial evolution, kindly look after the evaluation, how it will be done. Then the different types of factoring, very important, and what are the different stages of financing comes for venture capital, and the features. Okay, so coming to the next set of questions. So ಹೇಗೆ ಸರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಬಿಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, and what are the different type of bills available, who is called as a stock broker, and role and functions of depositories, components of financial system, and kindly look after the differences between this primary and secondary market. Okay, so these are some of the questions where you try to concentrate and try to get good marks. So, and once again we have to thank you so much for giving us good comments for our previous videos which we have subscribed, which we have uploaded. So ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು videos help ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು, even we are very happy. So for all your promotion what you people are doing, so ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬ ಖುಷಿ ಇದೆ. So ಅದೇ ತರ we always request you people to give more and more of likes, comments, ಮತ್ತೆ ಆದಷ್ಟು share ಮಾಡಿ. Let all our student community shall get to know how it can be used, or how efficiently benefit ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದನ್ನ let everyone take. Okay, so ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು try subscribing our channel, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ subscribe ಮಾಡಿ, and every time we will be thankful for you watching our all the videos which is been uploaded. Okay, so ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದ್ರೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, so kindly ask in the comment section, so we will always be ready to answer all your doubts and clear all your doubts. Okay, thank you dear students, thank you everyone.